Welcome again to the special session today, which is Art of Mind Control. Do all of you have a mind? Anybody without a mind here?
All.
Everyone, huh? Great. Do all of you want to control your mind? Are there times when you feel like my mind is agitating, causing a lot of trouble? I wish I could somehow control it. Do all of you feel that sometime at least? So maybe today for the next 1.5 to 2 hours, we'll try and learn some practical methods. We'll also understand conceptually what is a mind, how does this mind really function, how does it try to, agitate us and cause problems to us, and how exactly can we control this. This session is a very humble dedication to my most beloved spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Whatever little I know and whatever little I am sharing with all of you is because of His mercy and all the knowledge that He has given. So we'll just pray to Him and begin the session. Today's agenda is a 3-point agenda. The very first point or the concept that I want to cover is understanding the mind. And after that, what is the need for controlling the mind? Why exactly do we have to control? What are the benefits? If we control, then what benefits will we derive by controlling our mind? And finally, we will discuss what are the methods of mind control. So these are my objectives towards the end of the class. Let's come back and check and see if we really achieved these 3 objectives of the class. So the very first topic, understanding the mechanism of the mind. Any idea what is the mind? Let's see how much do you understand before I share what I want to share. What is the mind? You said all of you have a mind, right? So what exactly is it?
Something that gives you the capacity to think.
Yes, that's one of the primary functions of the mind is thinking. Yes, Pallavi ji said it right.
Thoughts are stored.
Right, it's a storehouse of thoughts. Okay.
It helps to make decision making.
Actually, decision making is not about the mind. I will tell you whose job that is. As of now, I'll tell it's not mind's job. We will tell whose that is. Anything else? What is the mind?
Creating thoughts.
Creating thoughts, yes.
Intelligence.
Intelligence, no, intelligence is a separate entity. Again, we will talk about that in a little bit more detail later. So, looks like our understanding is pretty basic as of now, what a mind is. So, let's learn a little bit more. Like most of you rightly said, our mind is a thought factory. It is a storehouse of thoughts, like Sir rightly said. It is a very busy factory. It is continuously generating thoughts after thoughts after thoughts. Any idea how many thoughts does our mind generate in a single day in a period of 24 hours? Any wild guess? Anybody wants to be daring enough?
80,000.
Sorry?
80,000.
80? You are kind of close.
90,000.
90,000? 1 lakh? Okay. Actually, the scientists, they say it is anywhere between 50,000 to 70,000. So you are very close to 80,000. So we'll take an average of 60,000 because they give a range of 50,000 to 70,000. So on an average, some people are so worked up that it is way more than that. And some people who do some nice pranayama, yoga and all that, maybe they have somewhat lesser than that. So on an average, our mind, which is a thought factory, generates on an average every single day 60,000 thoughts. But the unfortunate thing is, of those 60,000 thoughts, more than 77% of the thoughts are unnecessary, they are repetitive, they are random, and they are self-sabotaging. Let's understand what is this term self-sabotaging. Sabotage means destruction, something that destroys, something that causes destruction. Self-sabotaging is something that destroys one's own self. It is obvious and it is expected that people from B side will kill the people on A side and vice versa. People on A team will kill B team. But what if there are some spies? Who are spies? Gudacharis. Let's say team B is very cunning. So they have sent some spies from team B and put some of them in team A. So these few people, 2-3 spies, they actually belong to team B, but they act like they belong to your team, and then they come and kill your own people. So that is self-sabotaging. You belong to a team, you are part of some entity, and you cause the destruction of that very same entity. In cricket, Virat Kohli or somebody, Dhoni, say he is playing really well, 6 4s, everything, he is very close to century. And then when he is so close to century, he plays a really rash shot and gets out. And what will the commentators say? What a stupid guy. Of course, they are not calling him stupid on the TV, I am just saying, exaggerating. They say, what a foolish shot, he was so close to getting a century, he was hitting so nice, such good shots, and finally, why did he hit such a foolish shot? The bowler didn't do anything, he himself got overconfident and he hit a very rash shot because of which he got out. Now that is self-sabotaging. The bowler didn't do it, the fielders didn't do it, he himself caused his destruction. So likewise, our mind, it is our mind, it belongs to us, and it is actually causing our own destruction if we don't control it. So our mind, which generates 60,000 thoughts on an average every single day, most of it, 77% or more of it is what? Repetitive, random, unnecessary, negative and self-sabotaging. So as we progress, we will see how we can overcome this. Now in the Western countries, the understanding of mind is not very, deeper or detailed. Mostly they say everything related to matter is material science. Anything that is antimatter is, they consider it as mind, mental, spiritual, psychological studies. But our scriptures give a much more deeper and a clearer and a better and a comprehensive understanding of where exactly mind comes into play. For example, most of you understand about computers here, right? Anybody does not? So, on a major division, a computer has what? Hardware. Now, hardware is something that you can see, you can touch, you can feel. Along with hardware, you also have software. Now, software is very essential for the functioning of the hardware. If the software gets contaminated, then, excuse me. So if the software gets contaminated with a virus or something of that sort, then no matter how good your hardware is, then it will be of zero use. So there is the hardware, there is the software, and then there is the user who actually uses his intelligence, his or her intelligence, to use both software and hardware for whatever he wants to do. It could be coding a program, it could be watching a video, it could be, playing a game, it could be whatever. So likewise, our body, not our body, ourselves, can be, we can say it exists at 3 major levels. One is the gross body. Gross body can be compared to the hardware, something that you can touch, you can feel, you can see. It is made of Pancha Mahabhutas. And next to the gross body, the software of our existence at the mental stage is subtle body. Now, subtle body actually has 3 different items: mind, intelligence, and false ego. How do you know? You perceive it. It carries the fragrances. Likewise, at the time of death, it is the subtle body, the mind, the intelligence and the ego which carries our soul, which is who we are, the spirit soul, into another body at the time of death. Gross body is left because you can see a dead body, it's right there. It is the subtle body that actually transports, transmigrates the soul from one body to another body at the time of death. And then finally, just like for computer example, we said a user, in our case, we are the soul, the spirit, the spark of energy, the living force, the soul is exactly who we are. And this little tiny spark, whose size is, anybody knows the size of the soul? Tip of the hair, 1 by 10,000th of the tip of the hair is the size of the soul. And our science has not been able to come up with any kind of equipment as of now with magnification that is good enough to measure the size of the soul to be able to see it. But just because we cannot see it does not mean that it does not exist. So where does the mind fall into place here? At which category? Subtle body. So our existence is broadly at 3 levels, the physical level, the mental level and the spiritual level. Later on in the presentation I will be talking about all 3 methods how to control the mind at the physical level, at the mental level and at the spiritual level. Now Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6 verse 34 tells Arjuna, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Arjuna 5000 years ago he is calling mana what? Mind is Chanchala, restless. There was no WhatsApp, there was no Facebook, no internet. Even then Arjuna is telling mind is very Chanchala. And now with all the additional gadgets we have and all the facilities that we have, technological advancement that we made, our mind has become even more restless. Actually, mind is compared to monkey. I think parents will relate to this. When their kids are jumping around here and then koti tara aadbeda sumne khud ko andar. Right? How many parents tell this? Because monkey is always very restless, right? It just doesn't stay in one place. It's constantly moving around. So likewise, our monkey mind just does not stay. Many of us physically here, but your mind has already taken a walk. That's why when we share a joke, then suddenly when they hear the next person laugh, and they say, hey, what is the joke? What is the joke? Because the mind had gone. It just comes back, oh, everybody is laughing, something must have happened. And mind goes for a walk, we also go with it. Wherever the mind goes, mind will go, okay, tomorrow what am I making for breakfast? Some relative is coming. Oh, Monday morning that project has to be submitted. I have to give my clothes for laundry. That colleague insulted me. Monday I am going to take revenge during the snack time. You're just sitting here physically, but our monkey mind has gone everywhere. So it's very chanchala. It is so chanchala that Arjuna is telling, Pramati balavat dhridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayor iva sudushkaram. Vayor iva sudushkaram. Vayu is what? Wind. Air. He is telling the mind is more difficult to control than the wind. And how difficult it is to control wind? So many hurricanes and tornadoes when they come, especially in the United States and all, they constantly keep getting this Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane this, Sandy, that and this and everything. What do? Can they really control? They have all the geographical equipments necessary, days in advance, sometimes weeks in advance, they know it is coming, but they cannot control it. What do? They just evacuate the people. They are just avoiding the damage, but they cannot control the wind. Wind is very powerful, extremely powerful. And our Arjuna is telling the mind is more difficult to control than the wind. Even more difficult. So So this is the English translation. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Now let's talk in more detail. I've already described the mind as the monkey. By very nature, the mind is very restless. And this restless mind, in many different ways, it sabotages us. I already told you it acts as a self-destructive agent, a spy within us. So how does this mind cause destruction? Actually, it does many things. I will broadly talk about 4 things which will be easier for you to understand and remember. That is why I have formulated it in the form of an acronym. M for misdiagnosis, I for indirection, N for negativity, and D for double role. We'll discuss each of this. What do we mean? How does the mind destroy us? So M stands for misdiagnosis. When you go to the doctor, the most important thing the doctor has to do in curing a disease is first diagnose the disease. If somebody has tuberculosis and if they diagnose that as diarrhea, how will they be able to cure it? Is it possible? So the most important thing is first to diagnose what the disease is correctly. And our mind, every single time we have a problem, it tries to misdiagnose the problem. Well, I should not say every time, most of the time. How does it do this misdiagnosis? It takes what is the cause of the problem and portrays it, projects it like as though it is the cure for the problem. How do we understand this? Take for example an alcoholic. An alcoholic, some simple problem happens, goes and drinks. Some big problem happens, goes and drinks. Some party, some nice auspicious event has happened, celebration, drink. Everything drink. What is an alcoholic thinking? No matter what happens in my life, however small or however big the problem, my drinking will solve the problem. It will give me relief from the problem. But he does not know that actually drinking itself is the problem. It is not the cure for the problem, it is the cause of the problem. So he is thinking the cause is the cure. Likewise, our mind will say, hey, look at that. Why don't we go to that restaurant and eat this? Hey, look at that fashionable nice jeans has been given by Levi's, let's go buy. When I wear some branded jeans, then that will let me fulfill that desire. Window shopping. Hey, look at that nice pearl necklace. So the mind is constantly pushing us. Of course, the media and the commercial aspect of the society also pushes it. Wherever you see advertisements, billboards and hoardings. So our mind is saying, come on, fulfill the desire, increase your desire. You eat this, you wear this, you buy a better car, you get a bigger house, you get a fatter bank balance, you get a promotion. Come on, desire more. You can't be lazy. You have to be motivated. You have to have more desires in life. And you have to feel inspired to fulfill those desires. You have to work hard, you have to work smart. So the mind is pushing us to desire more and more and more and more. The mind is saying this is the cure for your problem. The more you desire and the more you fulfill your desire, the more the so-called successful you become in life, then this is the cure. But actually, that very thing, that desire, is the cause of our problem in this material world. In fact, Krishna says in chapter 2, verse 17, I am not saying, Krishna is saying, Vihaya kaman yah sarvan pumamsh charati nishpraha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantim adhigacchati. What does that mean? A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. So Krishna is saying, he who is free from desires, he can attain real peace. So that is the cure. Even Lord Buddha said the same thing, right? Desire is the root cause of sorrow. But what is our mind saying? Exactly opposite. No, you have to have more desires. No, you have to work hard. You can't sit back. So the mind is projecting the cause of the problem as the cure of the problem. It is misdiagnosing the problem, and then we are running, carrot and stick approach. The carrot is moving. Why am I not peaceful? Why am I not happy? Well, you cannot be happy, you cannot be peaceful. You can be peaceful only when you have no desires. So as long as you keep on running, fulfilling desires, it is pouring ghee on the fire. Already that Yagna Kunda, that fire is there, and you're putting more and more oil. Is it going to subdue and vanish? It's going to burn brighter. So Krishna, in fact, when we start second chapter, we'll discuss all this in detail. So beautifully Krishna says, we should be like an ocean. When all the rivers constantly keep flowing into the ocean does not exceed its limit, it is stable. So Krishna says we should be like that. The desires will come. As long as you are in the material world, desires will definitely come, but he is telling you don't have to act on those desires. Just like the rivers keep flowing into the ocean, but the ocean does not exceed its limit. It stays really calm and peaceful. Likewise, the desires will come from all different directions, but we have to remain peaceful. Do not act on it. But the mind says exactly opposite. It says you have to act on it. Fulfill this desire, that desire, this desire, then some more desire. So that is the misdiagnosis of the problem. So this is one thing we have to be careful. And next is indirection. How does this mind cause our self-destruction? One of the ways is indirection. What do we mean by indirection? So now all of you came from your home or wherever you had gone, you came to this center, right? Did anybody miss the place and went somewhere else? And then you had to find your way back? Everybody came properly, huh? Oh, you did, okay.
I went to MCH layout.
Okay. Okay. What is your name, sir?
Kalyan.
Kalyan, okay. So Mr. Kalyan, he wanted to come to telecom layout. Poor thing, he ended up in MCECHS layout, right? So now when he goes to MCECHS layout, what is he has to say? Oh my God, okay, he did come on time. Assume he was like, half an hour late. What is the right thing on his part to do when he ends up in MCECHS layout and he knows he has to come to telecom layout? Okay, I have come to the wrong place. Let me find out how to get to telecom layout. Let me call Aruna madam, or let me call somebody and get the route, or let me plug it into the GPS on my mobile phone, or let me ask somebody. Think practically, and then immediately he has to take a right about turn, and then he has to head to telecom layout. But what Kalyan sir just sits in MCHS later, Yagapan Anil Banpite. Why my GPS misguided me? Oh my God, I'm already half an hour late. If I go now, what will madam think? Will I get a seat if I go? If he just sits in MCCHS layout and pondering, no, that is what mind does most of the time. This is I'm making it a little dramatic. But anytime we have the problem, life determines our problem, we determine the size of the problem. carry your luggage. You will strike a deal, right? ಎಷ್ಟು kg ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೂಪಾಯಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀಯಪ್ಪ, ಹಿಂಸೆ 20 kg luggage ಗೆ 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. Then how much weight will he actually carry? 20 kgs, right? You're paying him 100 rupees, he will take 20 kgs. He's not going to take 20 kgs and 20 kgs more, 20 kgs more, 20 kgs more. He's not going to take 100 kgs, he'll take 20 kgs only. But us, we are so foolish. Life gives us a 20 kg problem, but we will think and think and think. Our mind will beat us around the bush. Why did this happen to me? Why did it never happen to my neighbor? What will happen? This problem will go on forever. Oh my God. Then what will this lead to? Everybody is enjoying. I was supposed to go to a picnic, but I got fever. I have to lie here. My friends are enjoying. Not being able to go to the picnic is the problem life gave you, but you constantly thinking is actually magnifying the problem. So life gives us the problem, we determine the size of the problem, and who magnifies the problem? Our very dear mind. So what does the mind do? It makes us resent the reality. It does not let us accept the reality. So to accept reality, we have to be in the present. How many of you have read this book from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now? Nobody? It's a good book. If you want, along with, after you read Bhagavad Gita, you read this book. It's a good book, The Power of Now. So to accept reality, the mind has to be present in the now. But most of the time, where is our mind? Either in the past or in the future. So in the past, it is resenting based on its past experience. It is not willing to accept the reality. Or it is in the future. When it is already in future, it either makes it fantasizes what all can go wrong and cause you a lot of anxiety. More than 90% of the problems happen only in our head. It does not materialize. So it causes a lot of anxiety. Anxiety is idu tappadre, adu agutte, inneno agutte, all in the mind only, everything. Or it will say what all can go right and it will put you in a fantasy world. Either this or this. So either your mind is in the past, presenting the reality, or it is in the future, causing a lot of anxiety, imagining all possible things that can go wrong, or it will put you in a fantasy world, make you fantasize all the possible things that can go right. Either way, you will not be peaceful. You have to accept the reality. You have to train your mind to be in the now. The power of now. Of course, we have to learn from the past, we have to plan for the future, but we should not live there forever. It should be a brief visit. But our mind does not do that. Okay, so that is the interaction part of it. Now, what is the other thing that it does? Negativity. I think I briefly touched on it. A lot of anxiety. There was this one woman I read somewhere. She was there somewhere in the United States. Every 3 months, she used to go to the doctor, get herself tested, and ask, doctor, do I have cancer? Every 3 months. And doctor used to say, no, you don't have cancer. But promptly, diligently, religiously, she used to go every 3 months. After 25 years of 3-month visits, finally the doctor said you have cancer. Then she was like, see doctor, I told you. See, I have cancer. So much of anxiety our mind will create. Of course, this is in this lady's case, it's a little out there. But our mind will just imagine so many things, simply unnecessary anxiety it will create. And it will create this scarcity problem. Now, for example, for all of you who are in this room, tell you after the class, we have a feast. It's only I'm simply saying there is no feast. So don't build your hopes, your mind will already go to the feast. So please stay here, it's just imaginary, I'm just making it up. So if I told you there is a feast after the class, and this feast is individual, each of you will get a customized menu. Whatever you want, you get. If I said that, and all of you go, the madam is already laughing. She knows I'm not going to give it, so. Yeah, madam, sumne aase tarastira. So you know this individual feast, if I tell you, and you all have customized menu, and then Shiv Prasad will take gulab jamun. Nimge ಏನ್ ಇಷ್ಟ? Oh, correct, huh? Okay. See, my mind is working there. I know the art of mind control. So here's gulab jamun, maybe some vegetable biryani, some this, some that, everything. Then what we will do will not just be happy with that, we will start comparing. What is in Srinivas sir's plate? Hey, how come he has a rasgulla and I have gulab jamun? How come Rekha madam has this malpova? I wish I had that. The whole basis of this problem is comparison. A sure short way to misery is comparison. So what does our mind do? The God has sent, just like an individual feast, each of us have some set of talents. There is a certain way we look. There are some things we are good at. There are some things we suck at. Right? We already have come with this package. But what we do? Instead of looking at my own plate, seeing what talents do I have, hey, he is better looking than me, she has a better saree than me, they have a better car than me, she speaks better than me, he is more intelligent than me. So much compare, then this mind is like scarcity. Instead of seeing what we have, we are so bogged down with what others have. And no wonder we are going to be so unhappy, miserable. Because there is always going to be somebody who is better than you. So there is no end to this. So this negative mind of ours creates this thing out of scarcity, like as though you don't have something and somebody else has something and your whole life you're fighting to get that something which you don't have and they have. So then, what's the other thing that this mind does? The last part of the acronym, it plays a double role. What is this double role? Say for example, this is still January, right? How many of you made resolutions? Yaru resolution madila. Sir, what is your resolution, sir? Ramanan, sir.
Actually, every day to do Sandhyavandana.
Okay. Very nice.
Chanting programs.
Oh, excellent. Very nice. Marta idira. So most of the people these days, the resolution is to lose weight. Because of our lifestyle, everybody is getting fatter and they somehow want to lose weight. Then you go to a function. January 1st, you have written down in your journal, my goal for 2017 is I want to lose 5 kgs, 10 kgs, whatever. And then you go for a function on 3rd. The mind will play one role. It will say, hey, come on, take one more gulab jamun, it's okay. Somebody else, take a little bit more rice also, no? Okay, other jotege inenadru ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ fried item, gobi manchuri maybe. So the mind will tempt you, take this, take that, it's okay, little bit, nothing will happen. Still 2017, no, by December you can lose 10 kgs. Now you take 1 spoon of gobi manchuri, what the hell? So it will tempt you. Then you will also eat, listen to your mind. Then when you have not achieved your goal, then the same mind which tempted you to eat more, the same mind which did not allow you to come to the gym downstairs and work out, that same mind will become a judge. You are good for nothing, you could not do the resolution. What 10 kgs you didn't even lose 0.1 kg. So this mind, which I said is a self-sabotaging entity that is within us, it plays all these roles and many others actually, but I'm just covering these. So what all does it do? M for? I for? N for? Negativity. D for? Government. Excellent. So now why is it necessary to control our mind? Why can't we just live with it? Any answers?
We become restless.
We become restless. We want to be more focused. We need concentration. Yes, very good. Huh?
Directionless, there is no proper direction.
Okay, very good point. There is no proper direction. Yes.
It also leads to health issues.
Yes, that's a good point. You know what? Sir, what's your name? Mohan. So Mohan sir said it leads to a lot of health issues, which is very true. You know what today? I was just reading in some magazine, I don't recall which magazine exactly. More than 80% of the diseases today are psychosomatic diseases. You are not getting physical diseases because of some bacteria, because of some virus, because of some infection. You are getting these diseases because of your own mind. They are psychosomatic diseases. Your mind is inducing physical ailments in you. That's why whenever you go to the doctor, they say, "Chinte maar beti, take it easy." Don't take so much stress. So very true, yeah.
If you don't control, it will create havoc because of
Yes.
all the 4 wrong reasons.
Yes, very true. Right, so good, they are all good reasons. Why is it necessary to control our mind? A sharp knife. How many of you think a sharp knife is a good thing? Raise your hands, please. Come on, how many of you think it's good? It's not a very difficult question, right?
It's how we use it.
Yes.
It's a good thing because its purpose is to.
Somebody said it right. Who said that answer? Sir, your name? Sudhindra, yes. So Mr. Sudhindra said it right. He said depends on how you use it. A sharpened knife, if it is in the hand of a surgeon, it is very good. He can do a surgery and save somebody's life. If the same knife is in an ISIS terrorist's hand, he is going to behead somebody, and that is not a good thing. So the knife itself is not good or bad, but who uses it, for what they use it, that makes the knife good or bad. Likewise, with our mind, is it our friend or is it our enemy? Depends. Depends on how expert you are in using it. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 6, you can go back home and refer to your Bhagavad Gita copies. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvar. What does it mean? For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy. How true, right? Yeah? Martin Luther King, one of the pioneers who fought very valiantly for the civil rights in America, he said, our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. This is the age of guided missiles and misguided men. We have satellites, we have missiles which are very guided using technology, but unfortunately our people are misguided. Ajay said it right, there is no direction. We don't know what is right, what is wrong. Whatever we want to do it, whatever we want to feel like doing it, we just do it. Whose tagline that is just do it? Nike, right? Yeah, just do it. So we don't know what is right, what is wrong. So how true what Martin Luther King said. This is the age of guided missiles and misguided men. Today we are able to control remote satellites in space. Unfortunately, we are not able to control our own minds. Let's read this chariot of the body. I think I discussed this in other session also. Let's check your memory. What are the horses?
The five senses.
Good. What are the reins? The reins.
The mind.
Rein, R-E-I-N. The rope. Reins. What is rein? No, but this is the chariot of the body. It's all related to our body. This is an analogy. Mind. Who said it? Oh, very nice, sir. Very good. Who is the one who is holding the reins? Who is the driver?
Mind.
Mind is the rein. Intelligence. Janavi, right? So who is the passenger here? He's so bewildered. Soul, yeah. So soul is the passenger, this body is the vehicle in which he is traveling. Like Stephen Covey said, we are not human beings on a spiritual journey, we are spiritual beings on a human journey. In this human journey, we have a human body. So the soul is the passenger. The intelligence is supposed to, Shobhavati Madam in Helandri, decision making. Decision making is not the job of the mind, it is the job of the intelligence. Even discriminatory power to know what is right, to know what is wrong is under the department of intelligence. So the intelligence should be strong. It should know what is right, what is wrong, but how will it know if we don't read the scriptures, if we don't learn from people who know? Our intelligence will not get strong and gain knowledge by watching TV or something. Of course, depends on what you watch on the TV. So, intelligence has to be strong to have a good control of the reins, to control the mind. So, when the mind is controlled, the mind will in turn control the senses. The mind's function is thinking, willing, feeling. Mind doesn't know what is right, wrong. Intelligence should know. The mind will go in all directions, and the senses, you see this? The eye and the nose and the tongue and the skin and the ears. They all want to run in 5 different directions. And if the intelligence is not strong to hold the reins will not have the power to control these 5 horses, the running senses. So it's extremely important that we educate our intelligence, make it strong, and also control our mind, control the reins. Then even if you want to eat something that you're not supposed to eat, the mind will say, no, you should not eat that. It wants to do something that is not right. Kids go on all kinds, not only kids, adults go on all kinds of sites on the internet, but the mind will say, no, that's not right, don't go there. No, so the senses will want to do all kinds of things, but we have to control our mind and strengthen our intelligence to have a grip. And if that is if you have to have a smooth ride, the intelligence has to be strong, the mind has to be under control, then the horses will go where you want to go. Then the soul will be like peaceful, okay, I'm going where I want to go. But now, because the intelligence is weak, the mind is uncontrolled, the senses are running every which direction, the soul is completely bewildered. It has no idea where it's going. That is why it's important to control the mind. In today's world, all these things are on the rise. Unfavorable things, undesirable things. Violence, terrorism, murder, suicide, corruption, mental stress, rape, which we hear unfortunately so often, divorce, drug addiction. So many things are on the rise, and what is the cause for this? Uncontrolled mind.
Is mind and habits the same?
Sorry?
Is mind and habits the same?
No. The mind will help you break the habits or make the habits, but they are not the same. If you don't mind, we'll take the questions later.
Yeah.
So what is the root cause of many evils in the society today? Uncontrolled mind. How many people are from IT industry here? Let's have a show of hands. Come on. That's all? Okay. So not only IT industry, industry, I'm not picking only on IT industry, many other industries today also, it's unbelievably stressful. It's not like before you go 8 hours, you work, you come peacefully, spend time with your family. You have a laptop, you have a phone, they expect you to be online 24/7. Even if you are on vacation, your boss will call, but the report is very urgent, can you please log into and just send it. Can you just work from home this Friday? Sorry, Saturday, whatever. No, so much of stress. Is Vishwanath sir here? He just called me the other day and he said, ma'am, I'm so stressed. I said, why? What happened? And he was just describing to me about his work situation. And he's from the IT industry. Now, people are unbelievably stressed because of high expectations. If you miss something without even thinking, they'll put a CC to your boss's boss. And your blood pressure will rise. So these are some statistics. It's a little old, from 2008 actually. I'm sure it's gotten worse now. 36% of Bangalore techies, our own city, Namma Bengaluru. 36% of Bangalore techies surveyed are probable psychiatric cases. 1 among 20 employees regularly consider suicide. 28% were constantly under strain. 300 of 900 men and women faced infertility problems. And these are very real. It's happening amidst us. And no wonder people are always eager for holidays and weekends. Yavag baratte. In the company that I was working for, a manufacturing firm, people walk the fastest when they are leaving the building. They just can't wait to leave the building, and they walk even faster on Friday evenings. We can't blame them, it's so stressful. What can we do? So Monday versus Friday, I have a little video, let me show. I apologize in advance, I think the audio is not working well. That is Friday. If you didn't notice. Very familiar, right? Happens to all of us. Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, verse 10 says, one who thinks that he has many enemies is an ignorant man. A person in knowledge knows that there are no enemies but those within oneself. So Srimad Bhagavatam is saying there are no enemies whatsoever outside of us. There are only enemies within oneself, and those enemies are the uncontrolled mind and the senses. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So absolutely, without a doubt, it is highly essential that we all of us become experts in controlling this mind. Earlier, what did we compare the mind to? Monkey. Yes. Good memory. The mind is working well. So the monkey mind, okay, before that, if that same monkey who is so restless, here, there, jumping all the time, if he has to be used in a circus, can we just simply bring a monkey and tell him, will he automatically do? No, his nature is to be restless, right? So what an expert should train him, train the monkey. So likewise, this monkey mind also, just like that, if you tell it will not work, it has a lot of momentum. Years together, lives together, so many past lives, our mind is trained in a certain way. Now we have to undo all that and train it. So we have to become experts, just like the man who would train a monkey, we should become experts in training our mind. So what are the methods of mind control? Broadly speaking, Mind can be controlled using three major methods: physical methods, mental methods, and spiritual methods. We'll talk about all these three. I'm happy to see some of you taking notes. So please make this a habit. My spiritual master Srila Prabhupada used to say, in Kali Yuga, to remember means to write it down.
Writing down once time is equal to 100 times reading.
Exactly. Good. So before, they used to hear entire Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam. They used to just hear and remember. So many, thousands of verses. But now we don't have such a good memory. So we have to write it down. Maybe make notes in your phone. I'm okay if you are tech savvy, but I want you to take down something. Somebody called? Alright, before we jump into this, let me show you a demonstration. I can't hold the mic also and do. Am I audible enough? So please pay attention to the demonstration. Here is a transparent glass. I'm pouring this water. So this glass with water, clear water, represents our mind. So to this mind, which now has clear water, I am going to add a little bit of sand. Mandi daily ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ. So I'm just taking a little bit of sand, adding it. So any guesses? What does this sand represent? Sorry? Disturbed mind. It is disturbed because why? All kinds of dirt, anarthas are there. Greed, envy, illusion, fear, anxiety, anger. So all these unnecessary anarthas, which are very undesirable, the clear water has become dirty water. So our mind also, it's not clear, it is filled with all these dirty things. Now can you please help me? How can I make this water clear? Filter is an excellent suggestion, but unfortunately, I don't think anybody has invented a filter through which we can pass our mind. And the mind will come out like perfectly pristine and clear. So filter is ruled out. Sorry? Let it settle? Okay, so somebody is telling let it settle. Okay, let it settle. While it is getting settled, let's continue with some methods. We'll come back and see what happens to it. So because you suggested, I'm letting it settle. Okay, so while that is happening, let's continue. Pouring some more water. So we'll come to that. Because somebody will give them a chance. Because they said let it settle. So the three methods of controlling the mind: physical methods, mental methods, and spiritual methods, right? Physical methods, there are many. I'll just explain a few here. Can some of you give me some hints as to what can be the physical methods, how you can control the mind? Yogasana? Yes, pranayama.
Meditation.
Yes. So yogasana, pranayama, meditation, all these are really good ways of controlling the mind. In fact, Ramanand sir, Hemlata madam, they conduct yoga classes right here every morning. So it really helps. There is a connection between your body and your mind. So when you keep your body flexible and fit, your mind will also become alert and agile. What is that English saying? A sound mind in a sound body. Nobody is sleeping here, right? Sound sleep, then it will be sleep for you, sound for others. So this is a sound mind in a sound body. So it's really important to take care of the body nicely, so it all has its benefits. Otherwise, why would you think that just cannot, because you just had a big lunch and your mind just does not want to focus. So there is a connection between the body and the mind. So why do we feel sleepy after lunch? Anybody has any idea?
Because it is meditating.
Meditate. Okay. Feed the body and then meditate.
Most of the energy goes to the digestion.
Yes. Of all the different, Sarojini madam said it right. Lot of energy goes to your digestive area. Of all the systems that you have, functional systems in your body, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the circulatory system, it's digestion system that takes up most of the energy. So when you eat a big lunch, or even for that matter of a moderate lunch, your blood circulation actually is concentrated in your stomach region. It's not going to your brain. And what carries oxygen to all the parts, all the cells, including your brain? It's the blood. The red blood corpuscles, hemoglobin, it carries oxygen. But when you eat a big lunch, all your blood is concentrated near your digestion system, so no matter how much you want to focus, your mind will simply not cooperate.
Oxygen is zero.
Sorry?
Oxygen is zero in the mind.
Almost, I guess. So I have a little video here, what happens, how sleepy we feel. After that we'll continue. Post-lunch scene. Baba is struggling so much. Poor baby. So I think in many offices it will be a similar scene after lunch.
And our ministers.
So no doubt, my point here is there is a connection between the body and mind. You know, if you eat the right kind of food, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he talks extensively about sattvic food, rajasic food and tamasic food. So the more sattvic food you eat, the better your thinking will be, the clearer, you will be more peaceful, calmer. Jaisa ann, vaisa man. As you eat, so are your thoughts. Tell me what you eat and I will tell you who you are. So it's extremely important. So all these things, yogasanas, pranayama, meditation, all this has its place. It will definitely help in controlling the mind. So let's move on to the next level. Mental methods of controlling the mind. What's happened to us? Settling off. It's still taking, okay, let it. Right? Mental methods. Any examples? Dhyana, okay. What's that? Chanting. Chanting will come in the next spiritual. Prayer is spiritual. Mental. Japa is spiritual, not mental.
Positive thoughts.
Yes. Positive thinking. All the self-help gurus, they'll talk about affirmations, auto-suggestions. Keep telling, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, and you will do it. You know, all these things they say, affirmations, visualization. They say put all these pictures on the wall. You keep looking, not only write down your resolution, put your pictorial visual. Every morning you look at it, every night before going to bed you look at it. It will take you closer. Positive thinking, don't see the glass as half empty, see it as half full. You know that sunflower principle. Yeah, half glass, half empty, half full. The sunflower principle. No matter which part of the earth you are, no matter which time of the year you are at, the sunflower will always face towards the sun. So successful people are all like that. They always focus on the positive things in their life. So all the self-help gurus, so many books, right? Robin Sharma, John C. Maxwell, Anthony Robbins, so many of these self-help people, Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, You Can Win, Shiv Khera. All these people, they say, talk about all these different things. They're all mostly at the mental level. No doubt they have their place, But trust me, no matter how positive you are, life will give you challenges that it is extremely difficult to be positive. You just cannot look at a fully empty glass and say it is full. You have to be realistic. Positive thinking has its place, but Bhagavad Gita talks about realistic thinking. It doesn't give false hopes. And affirmations. Somebody wants some diamond necklace. If they just go look at the window shopping, look at the necklace, will it come? Of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Everything has its place. I'm not underestimating anything. Everything has its place. But let's not over-emphasize on something also. So we have to be realistic, not just optimistic or pessimistic. So definitely mental methods of controlling the mind also has its place, but it's not the ultimate. So let's look at our water. What has happened? So now assume it's relatively clearer, right? Can you notice on top? Yes. At the bottom it's more turbulent. At the top it's a little relatively more transparent. So say for example weekend, especially this Republic Day, you took off Friday also and you went for a retreat. You know, some forest kind of a natural setting, you are there. 4 days completely silence, you don't talk to anybody, Mauna Vrata. You just sit, meditate. All the mental methods and physical methods you do, yogasana you do, you eat sattvic food. Feel fully shanti, peaceful. 4 days completely. Has anybody gone on a retreat? No? You know, some people go now, right? Oh, Venkatesh sir has. So you do feel good, right, sir? So he has confirmed that he does, because I have not been on a retreat. So you go and you feel really good. Then Monday morning you come to the office, you're just floating in the air. You feel so good about yourself. You have meditated, you did pranayama, all this. Then Monday morning, 10 a.m., you're sitting in your cubicle, you get a call. Call from whom? Any guess? Boss. Yes, everybody says boss. You get a call Monday 10 a.m., it's boss only. Either it's from the boss at the home or boss at the office. So the boss says, what happened to the project that I gave you, the report that was due, I have a meeting at 11 o'clock. He said, but I went to a retreat. He says, what retreat? Get the report right now when your mind is stirring. All the settling that happened, the piece went into pieces. Right? It was good. For 4 days you did feel good. But one call from the boss, oh my God. Everything came back again. Complete agitation. What happened? So, whoever said settling, I think you said, sir, Surendra. So you said settling. Settling does has its place. I am not denying it at all. But it's not the ultimate. Because we all have to live in the world. People are going to be mean to you. People will insult you. You are not going to succeed at everything that you try. You are going to feel angry. You will have that painful boss in the rear end who just hates you and you hate him right back. So, settling does help, but as long as the anarthas are still there in the mind, you can't be completely peaceful. So now give me the suggestion, what else can I do to clear this?
Add some agent to crystallize it and settle it down.
Oh my God, that sounds too complex to me. Sorry?
He can do after settling.
No, how do I do that?
Just put it in the
Yes. It's good.
Okay. I don't have another glass, so give me something else. Saraswati madam actually said. More water. What kind of water? That's important. More dirty water and get dirtier. So let's try this. So I already have this dirty water, which is dirty mind. I'm putting clean water. So that much amount of water is not enough. Let me pour more. Pour. think I'll use my water also. Want it to be clean. Clearer?
Yes.
Except for a little bit, don't see that. It's almost clean, right? If I put more water, it's going to be really crystal clear. So this, pouring the clear water on a daily basis is what will actually give you real peace. Albert Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem at the same level at which you create the problem. You have to rise to a higher level to solve the problem. So in the earlier example, I talked about gross body, I talked about subtle body, I talked about the soul. So the physical methods, they help, but not completely. The mental methods, they help, but not completely. You have to rise to a higher level to solve the problems at the level of mind. What is that higher level? Spiritual. So only through spiritual methods can you solve your problems at the mental level. Only when you add clean water to the dirty water can you completely get the anarthas out. Otherwise it's all temporary. For that time being it will give you some relief, but then something else happens. It resurfaces all over again. So the two important things, there are so many spiritual things that you can do, but two important things is, every single Saturday you're coming here to do what? Yes, study the scriptures. Studying scriptures, gaining knowledge and wisdom is a highly potent way to clean your mind. Why is that? Why if you read scriptures, how your mind will become clean? Because the scriptures give you the true knowledge. What is true knowledge? Who are you? Where did you come from? How is mind related to you? What is its position? Ajay sir, he said about purpose. There is no clear direction. The scriptures will give you exactly what your direction, purpose in life should be. Not only the goal of your life, how do you achieve it? Even that is given. And even when you are achieving, what kind of obstacles will come, that is also given. How to overcome those obstacles, that is also given. It is all there, but if you don't study it, whose fault is it? Yes. So studying scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, even Bible, Quran, you read whichever scripture you want, but follow it properly, as it is. Don't concoct and interpret and misinterpret, just take what Quran says or Bible says or Bhagavad Gita. I am not saying you have to fanatically stick to only Bhagavad. No, you take whatever you want, but stick to that religiously. So the purpose of religion is what? To know God and to love God. If Bible helps you do that, excellent. If Quran helps you do that, excellent. If Bhagavad Gita helps you do that, excellent. Any religion that helps you to know God and love God and achieve the goal of your life, you just follow it. So studying scriptures is pouring that water. And what is the other way? Every single Saturday we do it here along with the Bhagavad Gita. Chanting, yes. So spiritual methods. Actually about Bhagavad Gita there is one, the speech from Kasturi Rangan. I don't know how well the audio is going to be, but we can try. He is the ex-chairman of ISRO.
Gita are very relevant today when the world is going through a turbulent period of history with the ugly face of terrorism confronting practically all the nations. Bhagavad Gita gives solace to mind and provides comfort to the agitated mind. Belonging to state that can say from my experience that even though these great people are made of hard stuff and go through neurotic experience of anxiety and uncertainty when we launch our mission, we do look for spirituality at such times. Sunita Devi of the Nasa Astronaut selected for fields of field fabrication and trained to grueling schedules carried a Gita, which is from the record of 195 days in space in the International Space Station. Sushma found the teachings of Lord Krishna to Arjuna very comforting and provided solace that she herself went through periods of anxiety during her stay in the International Space Station. I compliment this man for the human service they are actually in bringing about awareness about Lord Krishna.
So that was Dr. Kasturi Rangan. He was the ex-chairman of ISRO, and he is talking about even how scientists look for the knowledge. You know, the whole world, they say that we want the knowledge of science, but even scientists look for the knowledge from scriptures. He was telling how Sunita Williams, for all the days that she spent in space, she carried a copy of Bhagavad Gita as it is, and how it gave her solace. So studying scriptures is one of the spiritual methods of controlling the mind, and the other one, like some of you rightly said, which we do it every Saturday here, mantra meditation. There are different types of meditation, but the meditation prescribed again according to the scriptures for Kali Yuga specifically is the sound meditation, mantra meditation. Man means mind, tra means to deliver. So mantra liberates the mind, it frees the mind, it delivers the mind. It delivers the mind from what to what? It delivers the mind from the illusion thinking that I am the mind or I am the body to thinking or knowing that I am the spirit soul. Something that is beyond the mind and beyond the body. And like I always said in the previous classes, this mantra meditation, the sound is so powerful. This sound is not material sound. In material sound, if I am thirsty and if I don't have water, if I simply say water, I'm not going to get water. I have to actually go and get water. But in spiritual sound, it is absolute. Absolute means there is no difference between the sound and the form and the place and the person. So when you say Krishna or Rama or even Allah or Jesus, the spiritual, the God has innumerable names, infinite number of names. You take any name you want. That name is as good as God. That is the difference between a spiritual sound and a material sound. So when you take the name of the Lord, remember Him by japa, chanting, mantra meditation, sound meditation, it's none other than the Lord Himself who is dancing on your tongue, if you have the faith. So the sound is extremely powerful, and this is not again a fanatical this thing. People have been chanting for years. Are they fools to sit and chant the same mantra every single day for hours? No. Because they see the benefit, they see the transformation that is happening in their heart and their lives. So this mantra meditation is another way of adding clear water to purify the mind. So actually, what does this mantra do really? How does it benefit? Let me give you an example. If I go and stand in front of a skyscraper building, what is a skyscraper? Very tall building. Skyscraper, it is scraping the sky. Such a tall building. If I stand right in front of the skyscraper building, I feel like, my God, this building is so big. So many stories. No? 24, 30, 40, what building is it? I'll be like bewildered. Such a huge building and I'm here right on the ground. This is so big. This is humongous. Now, if the helicopter comes and it lifts me from the ground, takes me up in the sky, that very same skyscraper building which seemed to my material eyes as so huge, now from a different perspective, from a higher altitude, that same skyscraper buildings looks like a tiny, small, little like a matchbox. The building is the same, right? Building didn't change, but my perspective changed. Looking at from the ground floor, it seemed so huge, but looking at a higher altitude from the sky, it seemed very small. So when problems come in life, they will seem like unsurmountable problems, so huge. They will just beat us down. Health problems, losing a near and dear one, losing a job, relationship problems. Material problems come in so many different forms. So when we don't have the right perspective to look at, these problems look really magnified. This mantra meditation is like the elevator, like the helicopter that lifts your consciousness. Once your consciousness is elevated, then the same problems don't look so big, don't look so insurmountable. You feel like, yes, they are not as big, I can deal with it. Because you know your true identity, you know that I am the spirit soul and these are the problems at mental and physical level, I can solve them. The Lord is with me and with this knowledge what I have, the true knowledge, Sanatana, eternal knowledge, I can solve them. So this mantra, chant, it is like this consciousness elevator that lifts you up to a higher level of thinking and consciousness. It's not going to happen overnight. This water you have to pour every day. If you were living in some forest, leaving everybody by yourself, then maybe yes. But we all cannot do that, right? We are all still in this very world. We have our family, we have our job, we have our health, and so many things. Financial responsibilities. So people will say things will happen to us due to which more mud will keep coming every day. So the more mud keeps coming, you have to keep putting what? More water. So this pouring of clean water has to happen on a daily basis. Just like you take bath every day, studying of scriptures, chanting, worshipping the Lord, associating with like-minded devotees, all this has to happen on a daily basis. So practice mantra meditation daily. So I not only want to preach, but I also want to practice what we are preaching. So right now, we are going to do one round of chanting. 108 times. I will do it with my beads. If you have your beads, you can also chant on your beads. Otherwise, you can just close your eyes. The most important part of chanting is Shravanam, hearing. Your mind, the monkey mind will go everywhere. So please don't go away with your mind. Please keep bringing your mind back gently. So I see many newcomers. So we chant what is called as the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is a 16-word, very simple mantra. In Kali Santarana Upanishad, there are so many Upanishads. Kali Santarana Upanishad is exclusively for Kali Yuga. And in that it is said, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Gatir Anyataha. It is the name of Hari, it is the name of Hari, it is the name of Hari. 3 times. Anything that is said 3 times is truth. Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Eva. Again 3 times they are saying Kalau. Kalau means Kali Yuga. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way in Kali Yuga for liberation. So we always, whatever we do, it is as per the Shastra. So we are going to chant the 16-syllable Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I'll just say once for people who are new. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So please close your eyes. 108 times we will do. It will take about 10 minutes. Please follow my this thing. You can just chant in audibly enough for your own self to hear. And you can chant along with me. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, 3, 2, 1, start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Very nice. I'm so inspired and impressed with your enthusiastic participation. I was surcharged. I hope you were also. So I'm sure our minds have cleared somewhat because we chanted, we are listening to all this, wonderful knowledge, wisdom. How many of your monkey minds went somewhere? Mine went. So I think more hands will go up now. It will go. Because the mind is trained in a certain way all these years, even from past lives. Just like a bullet train, it already has certain momentum. Immediately, if you apply the brakes, immediately it's not going to come to a halt. It will come. The brake has to be there. No, but it will take some time. So this will not happen overnight. Day in and day out, practice. I shared that verse where Arjuna asked Krishna, but this mind is so difficult to control, even more difficult than the wind. Krishna said it can be controlled through abhyasa, practice. Yes, sadhana, practice. So we have to practice it every day. So Krishna is telling through abhyasa you can control. So please try to chant this, very simple. Even if you don't have mala, I am actually happy that many of you are asking for mala because you want to chant every day. So with or without mala, you can chant anytime you want. It only takes about 10 minutes, 108 times, one round. So I strongly urge you to clean, purify your mind, strengthen your intelligence on a daily basis for the clear water by chanting, by studying the scriptures. And make it a point to regularly attend the class. Saint Tukaram, his disciple asked him a question. He said, spiritual master, my dear master, when I'm chanting, even when I'm not chanting, my mind just keeps running everywhere. So Saint Tukaram told his disciple, but why do you run after it? Your mind is running, but why are you running after it? You are not your mind. You have to bring it back. You don't run with your mind. So that's why I said, when your mind goes here, there, everywhere, gently bring it back. And through abhyasa, after several days, after several weeks, after several months, depending on how sincere and how much faith you have, your mind can be controlled. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 27, Krishna said, Prashanta manasam hi enam yoginam sukham uttamam upaiti shanta rajasam brahmaputam akalmasham. Prashanta manasam hi enam. When your mind is peaceful, yoginam sukham uttamam. When our mind is peaceful, we become joyful. Sukham uttamam, the highest happiness you will get when your mind is peaceful. But when will your mind become peaceful? When you remember the Lord. Chapter 18, verse 64, Krishna says, Manmana bhavu mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Manmana bhavu mad bhakto, he is telling, always remember me, think of me. And how will you think of him? Through chanting, through studying scriptures, through prayers. So when your mind is fixed at that Supreme Lord, mind will become peaceful. When your mind is peaceful, you will become joyful, 100% guaranteed by the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna. So that is the supreme art of mind control. Where does the lotus flower grow? In a filthy place, right? All dirt and that and this and everything. But in spite of growing in the dirt, have you ever seen a lotus which is, all the dirt on it? No. Even droplets of water will not stay on the leaves and the petals of the lotus flower. It will just fall off. So we can also be like lotus flower. We are in this material world. People will insult us. We will fail at times. Problems after problems will come and hit us. We are in a material world which is Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. It is a Dukkalaya. How can you be in a miserable place and expect to be happy? It is designed to be a alaya of dukkha. So how can you find real sukha? So we are also in a filthy place, this material world. But we can be like a lotus flower when we know the art of mind control. When we raise ourselves to our spiritual understanding, spiritual realization. So let me give a very quick summary. Did we accomplish the 3 objectives we set for ourselves at 6:40 p.m.? Number 1, understand the mechanism of the mind. So under that part 1, what did we cover? Mind is like a thought factory. It's randomly, continuously generating all these thoughts, most of which is unnecessary and it is self-sabotaging. And we have 3 levels of existence: physical, mental and spiritual. The gross body, which is like the hardware, the subtle body, which is like the software, and the spirit soul, which is like the user. So then part 2, we covered why do we have to control the mind? Because mind is very chanchala, restless. And it is self-sabotaging. How? 4 main things. M for misdiagnosis. Excellent. 2, interaction. N, E, perfect. Right? So it does all these different things. How it destroys ourselves. So we gave so many beautiful examples, we tried to understand, and we said all the negative things that are on rise today's world, it is because of the root causes, uncontrolled mind. So we have to control it. And in part 3, what did we say? The 3 major levels at which we can actually control the mind: physical methods, mental methods and spiritual. The physical methods are pranayama, meditation, yogasana, sitting posture, kriya, so many things. The mental methods are positive thinking, affirmation, autosuggestion, visualization, concentration, etc. etc. And the ultimate is spiritual method, which you can do so many other spiritual methods, but broadly we spoke about 2 things. One is studying the scripture so you can gain the knowledge and wisdom you need to understand yourself, and then mantra meditation, which is extremely powerful. And while we did all that, we also did this demonstration where we took a glass of clean water which was supposed to represent our mind, and then I added some dirt which was supposed to represent the anarthas, and then we discussed ways how to clean that, and then we let it settle. Although it settled, but then as soon as some agitation happened, all the dirt again resurfaced. So we thought that was not the very efficient way of cleaning, and then we said conclusively that the most efficient way to clean is pour clear water on a daily basis, which we drew parallels to the spiritual methods, studying scriptures and chanting. So this was about the art of mind control, and that was the summary. So I hope it's clear. Did we achieve the objectives for today? Yeah. So I'm so happy that all of you came. I enjoyed speaking. I hope you enjoyed listening and participating. So please come every week. Make the 2 hours of investment in purifying your mind and strengthening your intelligence, so we all can grow together spiritually. So thank you very much. Please take prasadam, not a feast today. So take prasadam, and I'll see you all next week.